Hello friends, within this tutorial we will see the feature that is the InputBox function which is provided by VB.NET. There is a situation that within our application we need to take input from the user with the help of a pop-up box. Means the user input the value within that box so that the user get focused on that particular field. If we want to implement this kind of a thing in our application, then again there are two ways. We can design the form as if the form gets open whenever we click on any button, or we can use the second way, that is why to design the form by ourselves, as the feature is provided by VB.NET, and that is InputBox function. As the name says, it is a box which is used to take input from the user. So hello friends, this is Dr. Nikisha Jariwala. Welcome to the tutorial of VB.NET. Still, if you have not subscribed the channel, then subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss the update. And also like the video and also share the tutorial so that it becomes helpful to other users. If you are an Instagram user, then it is beneficial to you because I also upload my tutorial on Instagram. And the handle to my Instagram is provided in the description box. Follow me on Instagram. Now let's continue with our tutorial, that is InputBox. We can say that InputBox is a function which is used to accept the values from the user. As it is a function, obviously it will return the value that is entered by the user, and that can be handled or that can be assigned in some variable. Here is the syntax. var is equal to, as I have already told that InputBox is a function, so obviously it will return a single value, and the value that is written by the InputBox is to be handled, so we need to use a variable over here. Then the name of the function, that is InputBox, and within parentheses we need to specify some arguments, that is sprompt, which is a compulsory argument, and remaining all the arguments are optional, as I have already specified that arguments within square brackets. So sprompt, then the second argument is stitle, third is default value, fourth is x coordinate value, that is x-axis, and y coordinate value. Now let's see one by one all the arguments. So first is sprompt. Obviously we need to specify or we need to display something to the user so that by reading that text, user will able to identify that what type of value is to be entered within the box, and user will input accordingly. And we can write 1024, that is 1024 characters within this prompt. So in short, we can say that sprompt is just a message or the information that is to be displayed to the user, which becomes helpful to the user so that user enters the value accordingly. Now the second argument was title. Title, we can also say it as a caption, which is displayed in the title bar of the input box. If we skip the title value, then the name of the application will be displayed as a text in the title bar. Another parameter is default value. As the name says, if we want to display something within the text box as a default value to the user, then we can specify that value within this argument, and if we omit, obviously that text box will be empty. Next is nx, that is the, if I tell in simple words, then it is x coordinate, means the horizontal distance between the left edge of the input box and the left edge of the screen, so that's why I have told it as a x-axis. If we omit, obviously the input box will be displayed within the horizontal center position of the screen. And the last argument is ny, that is in simple words, if I say, then it is a y coordinate, means it is a vertical distance between the top of the screen and the top edge of our input box. So these were the arguments which we have to specify within the input box function. Obviously we can omit any of the argument from between, but only thing which we need to consider over here is, for example, if I omit the title, then too I need to specify the comma delimiter for the title, but obviously I can omit any value from this arguments, but the mandatory argument is prompt, that cannot be omitted. So here is an example. Obviously, as we need one variable and I want to enter a string from the user, so I have specified one variable, that is str as string. and that str I have used over here so that the value that is written by the input box will be assigned to this variable, that is str is equal to input box, that is the name of our function. Within parentheses I have specified all the arguments. So the first argument is the prompt, that is within a prompt I want to display enter your name. In title bar I want to display name. As a default value I need to specify your name, and it will be displayed at 100,100 position on the screen. And if I want to use the value that is written by this input box, obviously it is handled within str variable, so we can use this str variable wherever necessary. So over here I have specified that str variable, that is the value that is present within the str within the message box, so it will get displayed within the message box. So this is the end of the theory portion of our tutorial. Now let's move on to the practical portion. As I always say is that I have created the project that is VB.NET tutorials, and for this example I have created one form, that is FRM input box. It is a very simple form. I have placed only a single button on it, that is click to enter the value. So whenever the user will click on this button, the input box will be pop-up, and within that input box user can input the value, and after inputting the value, that value will be displayed within the message box. So let's see the code. So here is the click event of the button. The same example which I have demonstrated within the theory part is specified over here, that is I have declared one str variable, then I have written the statement, that is I have called input box function, and I have specified those arguments which we have already seen in our theory part, and the value is displayed in the message box. So this is a very small but a very useful example to understand the input box. First of all, let's execute the application and see what we get. So here is our form, there is a button. Let's click on this button. So as you can see, the input box is displayed at 100,100 position, that is 100,100, that is the horizontal distance from the screen is 100 and the vertical distance from the top is also 100. So here is our prompt, that is enter your name, title contains name, default value is your name, and these two buttons are given by default. Over here OK means the value has been entered, and cancel means I just want to close the input box. It doesn't have any other meaning. Now as it asks my name, so I need to enter my name, that is Dr. Nikisha Jariwala, and obviously as I have entered the name I will click on OK button. So here we go, the value that I have entered, that is my name Dr. Nikisha Jariwala, has been displayed within the message box with information icon and your name as a caption, and obviously it contains one button which is a default button, that is OK. Now let's click on the button. So this was the example, but as I have told that we can also omit some values. So let's remove some values from our input box function. Let's remove this. So I have removed it, but as I have specified, we need to specify the comma delimiter. Now let's again execute our application. So here we go, let's click on the button and you can see the changes, that is your name, that is the default value which was displayed when we have executed this form prior, is not present right now. Remaining all the things are same. So we can omit any of this parameter or any of this argument from the input box function. So this is all about the tutorial. Thank you.